great word. All humans, I have an appetency for joy. I have a tendency for joy. I have an affinity for joy. These are perfect packages that all divide by 5, ending in Y, with... It's amazing how every human being is made for joy, because we're made in the image of God, and joy is at the center of the heart of God. So, I have an appetency for joy. That's an awesome word. So, appetency, from our list here, adds to 105, which is a king word, a king number for joy. And of course, appetency follows the revelations of today, Wednesday, September 30th. 9-letter words that all have a 5 at the dead center. Appetency. That is so loaded with 5s. Appetency. I have an appetency for joy. And then tendency. Basically the same 5s. They're very identical, and the tendency is very similar mathematically to appetency. They share so many of the same letters, and then the ND goes up 15 points perfectly to the APP. And then a tendency equals affinity, 90. What's the message? God, it's like, I have a tendency for joy. I have an affinity for joy. I have an appetency for joy. There it is. Welcome to the human race. Welcome to joy being at the center of God and His creation. I'm just here for the math on the perfection of all these words. Appetency. Of course it's called appetency. So you can get really symmetrical with this guy. Ooh, it's tear-jerking. So the central... That's beautiful. So the central 5 letters are 60 points perfectly. 30 plus 30, and then the rest is the words pace, the root of the word pacing, or a cap. Okay, that's perfect. Appetency. Appetency. The joy of appetency. Rather, I have an appetency for joy. It comes from the word, the same root as appetite, the Latin word appetare, which is to seek after. You know, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Rather, it's a natural instinct. The body is designed to constantly, like, register joy. Like, it, all day long, we make moves to maximize our pleasure and comfort, as we're supposed to, as long as it's all holiness. That's it. Tear-jerking. Oh, and then seek after. Both words divide by 5. That's the root of this word appetite, appetency. Seek after, of course. Seek after equals seek joy. Seek after equals 90 equals tendency equals affinity. I have a tendency for joy. I have an affinity for joy. I have an appetency for joy. Don't you? Doesn't every human being from the dawn of time love comfort? Comfort equals 90 as well. And peace is 30 pure 3s, of course, or pure 5s. I have a tendency for comfort. Wow, I have an affinity for comfort. Don't you? Yeah. Wow. It's amazing how many silly whip crackers there are in the world. It's all broken humanness. People that are just like possessed by the devil, thinking they need to like whip themselves, whip other humans. It's totally satanic thinking. Very low self-esteem people. Very low peace, very low faith, very low trust. Analogous. That's cool. Anything related to parallels. Awareness. The joy of awareness. Just like the joy of understanding. Very like. The joy of braveness is like the joy of courage. Centenary. That's good. Interesting. The joy of excreting and secreting, of course, you do that every day. completeness. Lightings. The joy of a messenger, that's a huge one. Joy of nighttime. That's cool. That's because those are two huge words. Nighttime. 105. Nightwear. Okay. Reproduce. The rectorate. Because sainthood, just like fatherhood, the joy of sainthood. That's a big one. Shoreline, that's a good one. Suffering ones. Alright, more to come here.